Hello there, welcome back to my channel, Snips by Kelly. I'm Kelly, and tonight we're going to focus on a cozy up scrapbooking layout that focuses on when a little is enough. So our cozy up scrapbooking workshop was featured last month, but we actually have quite a few kits left, and I'm so excited because I'm behind on my creating. So you can get this great scrapbooking workshop kit, and it includes this stencil, which has all different kinds of leaves and dots, our traditional 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and it focuses on two different potential themes or a combination of themes, which includes reading and fall. And I love both of those. It comes with some cozy up dots, and it comes with added die cuts. It has this great gutted frame with this extra pattern that is an extra pattern in addition to the pattern paper and sticker sheet. So we have a coordinating background and a gutted frame and two additional sheets of die cuts that you can use within the workshop and two additional pattern papers. Wow. It also includes this versatile paper pack and sticker sheet, which has either fall themed or a book theme or a reading theme, and it can go in either direction or a combination. And then of course it includes the coordinating cardstock. So what I want to do, since we have this great stencil set and it's included in the kit, I wanted to divide out the leaves on the stencil set. So there's a little leaf up there that I'm going to designate will be paprika. Another different little leaf I'm going to designate as mocha. Another leaf, the larger leaf, is going to be honey butter, and then the other large leaf will be pine, and then the dots will be scarlet. So I have my stamp chamois, and I have my all-purpose mat, and it is covering my Versamat on the soft side. I have a piece of 12 by 12 white daisy, and I'm going to concentrate on the background. So we're going to create a very simple layout this evening, and most people who know me know that I'm a decorative scrapper by heart. And so I have occasion where I like to add quite a few photos to a page, and I usually try to find a way to have an added decorative element and still have a lot of functional photo opportunities. But on this particular layout, less is more, and I'm so excited to show you how simple and easy and functional this layout can be with just some added sticker elements and a couple little added Cricut elements, because most of the heavy lifting is what we're doing right now. The heavy lifting and the decorative component is going to be in this background blending. So I'm simply using the blending brush, and I've designated one leaf for each color. So I'm just going to do one section, and then off camera I will go all the way around and create a frame around this white daisy base, and actually two white daisy bases, because this is going to be the base of our layout. We're going to add a little bit more treatment to it, but right now I'm doing a mocha leaf. The first leaf was a paprika leaf, and I'm just doing it randomly. I'm making sure to wipe the stencil off in between so that I don't get ink on the paper. So these are pretty small leaves, and they're pretty close together on the stencil. So I'm just trying to be gentle and just rubbing on the leaf. And a lot of times I will pick a leaf that's a little more away from the other leaves in the stencil if there's more than one of the same kind. So now I'm coming in with that large leaf in honey butter. And I'm just being random, but I'm doing some upside down, some right side up, some part way off of the page, some that are all the way on the page. And so the edges are going to be covered up for the most part with different photos and pieces that we're going to add to the layout. So you don't have to be too concerned. We're going in about 1.5 inches into the edge, and we're going to do that, like I said, said, all the way around. But we're going to add some blending of some additional ink with the blending brushes. But first we're going to finish the next color, which is going to be pine. Now pine is a richer, darker color, so you can use a light hand if you want a lighter pine, or you can use a heavier hand if you want a darker pine. And the one thing that I try to be kind of careful of with the stencil is that you stay on the part that you are trying to stencil so that you don't get a line from going over the edge. Now, it's not going to be horrible if you have a little boo-boo here or there on this, because we're going to blend and rub some ink around the edges. And like I said, most of the pieces are going to butt up against the edges, and it's just going to look like a beautiful fall collage, and it's going to blend all together. And so that's what I love about random stamping, is that even though there's somewhat of a pattern, you're using the same color for the same style of leaf or the same size of leaf all the way around, but you're randomly stamping it. So now I have some scarlet here, and there's some dots, and I'm going to use the scarlet dots. We're going to use the stencil throughout this workshop, and this particular layout tonight, I'm actually focusing on the book or the reading theme. So most of the layouts in the workshop that I'm creating with this series are going to be pretty rich fall layouts with lots of leaves and perfect for all of your fall activities. But because we had so many great icons in this that had to do with reading, I really wanted to make one featured layout that had to do with that reading theme. And so I've chosen to use this layout for my grandson, Waylon James, and I have some photos of me reading to him and him reading by himself. And what I love about the layout that we're creating tonight is it's so simple, but it's 100% versatile. So there is nothing in this layout that makes you feel like it couldn't be completely adjusted to fall or to adult reading, or to girlfriends or book club or something of that nature. So now you can see that most of that edge is going to be covered up. I'm not going to put an interior piece on these. I actually try to, and you'll see that here, but it's so beautiful without it. And that is where my concept of when a little is enough. So you have so many beautiful colors around the outer edges that's your heavy lifting. That is your decorative element, and that is your hardest part of this entire layout. The rest is going to be super simple and easy. So here I am, just, in a sweatshirt here at home with Waylon James. I had taken him to the park earlier that day, and he was being a little maniac, and he was going up and down the tornado slide, and he bonked his head. And so we were reading one of his favorite books, which is about feeling better or getting better. And you actually clean the boo-boo, kiss the boo-boo, and it has removable band-aids that you put on it, and it's an Usborne book. And I absolutely love it. He has a lot of Usborne books at our house, and I think at his house as well. They're wonderful interactive books. And so I don't often get pictures of me reading with the grandkids, which is such a shame, because I have read with every single one of our grandchildren pretty much every single time that they come over. So I'm basically sorting some of these out, and I'm finding that I have a ton of photos. And at first I was looking at possibly using black and white simply because my orange shirt is so orange, and it's kind of almost a neon, and I was not quite sure if I could make that work with this, but I decided to go with it. I was going to try black and white, but there's so much fun in the color photos with Waylon's curls and his books, and so I decided to stay with it. So I actually pulled out the second side because I'm really unclear at this point in the video what I'm doing, and so I'm trying a couple things. These are strips that came right in the workshop kit that were die cuts or punch outs. And then the top sticker of books. There are 2 of those on the sticker sheet. I just took the sticky back off with my anti-static pouch so I could move it around. I'm kind of trying to decide, but my whole concept or my idea is of a library or a bookshelf, and creating different levels and layers over the top of the beautiful leaf pattern of a library looking shelf. And then I pull in a ladder that I created on the Cricut that I really love the concept of climbing up the ladder in this big library and then going on an adventure. And my mind sort of went to the imagination of a child, or it can be adult. There's absolutely nothing in this layout that says it needs to be child photos. If you are a reader or a book reader, or you're part of book club, or you just love to read books, I think it would be great for you. But the whole concept of climbing up and getting lost in this library of books, and no matter which book you pick off of the shelf, it's going to be this great adventure. And so that was my whole concept. So I thought that I would take a little bit of paprika background paper, and then a little sheet of the extra pattern paper that we received in the kit, and see if I wanted to do a little bit of an interior frame. It's my go-to style. I probably overuse it because I love it so much, and I feel like it really defines things when you have a matted frame. But I compared the 2 sides, and I actually thought little is enough. Less is more, and it was so beautiful with the stenciling around the outer edge. I decided to go with it and pass on the added framed mats. So now what I've done is I've done pretty much just barely any paprika photo mats. So on the left side, I have a 4x6 vertical and a 3x4 vertical, and I've matted it with about an 1/8 inch of a mat, or even less, of paprika. I matted all of the right photos with paprika as well. So I have a 4 and a 4x6 vertical, a 4x4 vertical, 3x4 verticals, and a 3x3 vertical. That's a lot of photos on the right, and it takes up a lot of space. So I decided to add a flip flap, a signature 3x4 flip flap onto that, where I could do a little bit of inking with paprika ink on a light hand on the top. And then on the bottom, I created a 3x4 pattern paper and did 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 white daisy piece on the interior. And then I added some Cricut words that said just one more. And I love that, because that is what Waylon always says. He actually says again. And I use a lot of sign language with him, and I taught him how to sign again, and he will sign and say gin, 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 and meaning I want to read it again. And he absolutely loves, and he would say that 100 times, read it again, read it again, read it again. And so I loved having the journaling on the top and being able to keep that photo. But this is a lot of photos. It's going to be busy with the photos, but I really do still want a decorative element, but it's turning out that less is more. Very simple. One Cricut cut there with the ladder, with the Cricut ladder, and maybe creating these levels. So we only have 2 long book sticker pieces, and so I thought I could level those a little bit and move some inward and then some back a little ways and some back a little more, so that the pieces that I cut off would be plenty to create the library. I love the concept of adding the punch out strips to the bottom, and then popping up a piece of mocha cardstock in between, so there's a little ledge, so it actually looks like a bookshelf. So right now I'm just trimming off the edges. I didn't measure. I simply went with the top strip to the way edge of the stenciling that we did, went in a little farther for that second one, and then the last one, whatever is left over, over, I will go in a little bit more, and then we'll just play with those photos. I'm not quite sure exactly at this point in the video if I'm going to arrange them both on one side or what I'm going to do, but I'm just looking at what's left over of the book stickers, and I love these book stickers, and hindsight is always 2020, but I was thinking to myself, gosh, I really wish I would have snipped some of those books apart so there was some little spaces between the books. I could have put maybe a little apple or some little glasses in between, but I did end up loving the final result of this. So there were three different, there's a whole bunch actually of punch out strips that are included in this kit. I'm always so impressed with our scrapbooking workshop kits because of the extra pattern paper, because we have a stencil, because we have 3 die cut sheets, and we get so many bits to work with that it's wonderful. In fact, I'm always surprised that I even add extra Cricut cuts because there's so many bits to work with, but I love to stretch our workshop kits to 12 pages. So instead of the 3 2-page layouts that come in the workshop kit, I like to take those same materials and make them into 12. So this is the first of 12 pages, or the first 2-page layout out of 6 2-page layouts that I'll be completing with this set. So now I've added a skinny piece of foam tape to a 1/2-inch strip. Is it a 1/2-inch strip? Let's see. It's a 1/4-inch strip of mocha cardstock. And when I put the sticker down, there was a little bit of white space on the book sticker. And I made sure that that white space was still showing instead of covering it up with the die cut strip. That way I had a little extra room to put the mocha strip on the transition. Now on the ladder, even our skinniest foam tape is too wide. So I showed you how our non-stick microtip scissors actually cut sticky foam tape without sticking. And they are amazing. I will not go without our microtip scissors because I am forever cutting something sticky, like a sticker or the foam tape or something like that. So that cutting that, even our skinny foam tape, even in half, allowed me to be able to easily run a strip of that down the ladder. So now I've placed all the photos on the right in place, as well as the photo with the flip flap on it. I've secured the ladder, I've secured the library, I'm leaving my photos kind of loose, and then I'm just going to play with some pieces and sort of figure out how to decorate. But I've already decided that a little is enough. Typically, I would have a large Cricut elements, lots of extra added touches, but I love the smaller stickers with this. I do decide that I need a horizontal photo. This photo of Waylon is so cute. He's showing me that he's putting the Band-Aid on the bear in the book, but I am so happy that I have the ability on my PictureMate 400 to print at home and to change the orientation of that same photo. I'm envisioning this title die cut here over on the right and decorating it in some way, most likely with leaves. I love this little tiny snail. He's so cute. Adding a little pumpkin in there, and I think that what I'll do is I'll go and create that horizontal photo and make that horizontal, and then just take a look at some of these die cuts and stickers. So just one more chapter. Even though this isn't a chapter book, I felt like it's super appropriate because Waylon always says again, again. He will be 2 in the middle of October, and so we're not quite to the middle of September yet. So in another month, he'll be 2, and he loves books. Absolutely loves them. Points to all the pictures, makes all the sounds and the names, and names the pictures. And reading is something that I did with all 3 of all of our children and all of our grandchildren, and I absolutely believe that reading is the very best thing that you can do with a child. I am ashamed to say I don't do near as much reading myself as I used to because I'm so busy. But I do a lot of books on tape. But I know so many of you out there still want to hold the book in your hand. And I'm definitely hands-on, hold the book in your hands kind of person. So now I'm just playing around. I took the sticky off of a bunch of the sticker leaves, and I'm going to use a lot of those because in the rest of the layouts here, I'm actually going to be using some Cricut leaves. And so I know that it's okay for me to use quite a few of my stickers on this layout and really have fun because we're using so many photos. I need to use smaller embellishments and I want to create a few decorative elements. So I'm going to try to make a little cluster of those leaves under the right of that title. Probably do a little cluster at the top left of that title. Add a few leaves at the top of the bookshelf and a few leaves coming out of the ladder just to make that a fun fall element. So you can see, even though it is more of a library theme or a book theme, or a reading theme, it totally has that wonderful fall vibe to it as well. Excuse me. Battling a fall cold here and I'm running out of voice, so I'm hoping to make it to the end of the video. We're totally getting close. I really wanted to push through my cold and share this tonight because Cozy Up was featured last month, but there is still some available and it's a gorgeous kit and it's so versatile and I absolutely love it. I'm a fall girl, so I really wanted to get this video posted and put it out there that I am doing a full workshop with it because right now it's still available, so you can still grab it. And I will put the full supply list of what I'm using for my workshop kit up on in the description of this video as well. I'm often behind on my workshop. I do have a full-time career and I am a full-time close to my heart maker as well. And I have 8 grandchildren and we live on a farm and a ranch. And so I'm insane. I'm crazy. I'm just like most of you. Our lives are so busy. So I feel like I'm always behind, but I don't want to miss an opportunity to be able to create with wonderful papers that I love and that inspire me. So I'm always stubborn. I push through. I might be behind, but I'm determined to get it done. I have quite a few workshops that are in queue that I need to go back and do, but I eventually will, and I love it. So I am loving this, how this is turning out. I want to add some of our dots and our gems, but I've just secured all those little bits into place that you can see. Added a few little word stickers. And I'm loving that. I'm so happy that I believe it was my brother took the photos for me because I'm typically, when I'm with grandkids, I'm by myself or we're in a big event like big party or a birthday party or doing lots of chaos. And so when I have grandchildren by myself, which is often, but when I do, it's pretty quiet and it's usually us. And we go to the park and we do things and we read, but there's no one there to take our photo. And so I'm so happy to have these photos to document. And I am on a mission to get pictures of me reading with the other grandchildren as well. It's such a great thing to document. And I love in my journaling that I can document what his favorite stories were that he loved me to read. He picked some of the same ones over and over. And I actually have some of my son's books, his father's books, and I actually have been reading to him some of the books that were my son's favorite when my son was his age, and I love that. In fact, it's so fun to open up the front cover and it'll say, "To Zachary Allen, Love Mom, 1992. I also have some books from 1989 from my daughter and the early 90s, and it's so special. So I hope you are loving this and you are inspired, and then I hope you'll check out my full Cozy Up workshop that will be debuting soon. It will be up on the blog, and I'm sure I'll do a workshop share here on YouTube and share that with you so that you are able to check that out since it's still available. Loving the stencil, loving the leaves, and loving this adorable book theme, which could be totally used for adults or children. I hope you'll take a moment to hit subscribe and like, and shoot me a comment and let me know what you think and what inspired you, and if you have any plans to create a layout like this. Thank you so much for watching and sharing the love of paper crafting with me. Happy fall, happy reading, and happy scrapping. Bye-bye.